Hi, I'm Mike from Frank Baker Machinery. I'm here to talk you through the ITS-1000-ST. This shaker is a 2.2 kip or 2,200 force-pound shaker in the sine configuration. It's 4.4 kip in the shock configuration. It has plus or minus 1 inch of displacement travel, max payload of 660 pounds, and bare table, it can run 100 Gs. This shaker is a 480 volt shaker. That's the voltage that you'll hook up to the wall. So a general overview, there's 3 main components: the shaker itself, the amplifier, and the blower. The amplifier is the only component that gets wired to the wall. Everything else is powered through the amplifier. So there's one main power hookup, and then the shaker is powered from the amplifier, and the blower is powered from the amplifier. The blower and the shaker are connected by one suction tube. This comes equipped with the blower. It'll arrive on the blower skid. All other interconnecting cables come in boxes, all ready to go. Everything is labeled clearly and cannot be confused. A competent electrician would have no problem making all the necessary interconnections. As far as non-labeled cables, these 2 cables cannot be mismatched. They are separate pin numbers. This is 4 and this is 6 pins. They have to go in their respective receptacles. This cable here on the right provides power to the oil pump for the slip table, and this cable here provides interlock capabilities to know if the pressure switch is satisfied and allows the amplifier to know if the oil pump is running. Over here, you have your air gauges. These let you know how much air pressure is in the armature and in the trunnions. They're charged with this simple hand pump. All you need to do is remove one cap and plug the pump in just like you would a bicycle. Plug the pump in and then simply pump it like so. One thing to note, this shaker is equipped with the capability to run horizontal and vertical. Right now it's in the horizontal position. When you rotate to the vertical position, you will switch the hose from the horizontal connection to the vertical connection. All you need to do that is to switch these 2 plates and reconnect the hose as normal. In order to connect the shaker body to the slip table, you'll use the bull nose, which comes with the shaker. Currently it is hooked up. All the bolts required are included, as well as a special Allen tool to tighten the bolts. The slip table is 24 by 24 and is equipped with the same bolt hole pattern as the armature. So any fixture that you create for the armature, you can also run horizontal on the slip table. For larger loads or larger masses in the vertical, it also comes equipped with this head expander. This is 20 by 20, and this will be mounted to the shaker barrel when it's rotated in its vertical position. Here in front, you have the oil system. Behind this plate is a hydraulic pump that pulls oil from the reservoir, which is underneath the slip table itself. These 3 lights indicate that all 3 phases are present, and this is simply your on-off switch for the oil pump, which, as we stated earlier, is powered through the amplifier. The slip table is equipped with a pressure adjustment. You don't want too much pressure, you don't want too little. So there is a sweet spot in between 5 and 15 psi. Here you have your sight glass for oil level. Right now it's half full. This is about how much oil you want in your slip table reservoir. This shaker requires turbine 32 or equivalent. The maximum capacity of the shaker is 660 pounds. Of course, that's all dependent on the profile you're running. If you're running a higher level profile, obviously you won't be able to shake that much weight, but the maximum weight allowed is 660 pounds. The amplifier is equipped with a few different switches and buttons. Down here you have your main power switch. This is what allows power from the wall to go through to the modules. This is your primary on-off switch. Up here you have your readout. This will display volts and running amps as well as any faults or errors. Start button, stop button. You have your gain, your analog input. This will come from your controller. And then this is the emergency stop button. In order to rotate into either the horizontal or vertical mode, you will need to take out these bolts. There are 3 on this side and there are 4 on the other side. These are the anti-rotation trunnion bolts. If you do not remove these, you will not be able to rotate the shaker. In order to operate the trunnion rotation, a wrench is supplied. All that's needed is to put the wrench on the spindle and crank as necessary. Before you crank, you must remove the anti-rotation bolts on both sides of the shaker. On the side of the slip table here, you have your centering position marks. Right now the shaker is not powered on and there's no air in the trunnions or the armature airbags, so we're a little bit behind center. But when you do set this up, you'll want this notch to align with this notch, which means that your slip table is in the center of its travel. So along with centering the slip table, there is a armature centering tool included as well. Very simple. All that's needed to check centering for the armature is to place this face flat against the blue face of the drum. And this the top of this face should be at the top of the standoff or the bottom of the bullnose. So right now we're a little bit below center, and you would use the air system that we discussed earlier to bring the armature out to center. You always want to center your armature before you start a test. Last thing to note is right on top here is your junction box for all your electrical connections. This is where you're going to hook up your field coil, armature coil, and your interlocks for over travel, over temperature, and the mercury switch that tells you if you're in the vertical or horizontal position. So that's all of the main components and main essentials for hooking up your ITS-1000. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact Frank Bacon Machinery and we'd be happy to walk you through it.